Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Thursday, August 9th, 2012. There's a lot to cover, so let's jump right into the charts here. We'll start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. Futures are trading down by about a point and a half right now, 2 points, flip-flopping around that level to around the 1396.75, 1396.50 area. Once again, just a minor decline, but futures were higher. In the overnight trading, they have come down decently. Again, watch the U.S. dollar index. When the U.S. dollar index gets a bid, generally put some pressure on the futures and the rest of the markets out there. You do have a lot of news coming out of Europe today. It looks like there is a few different things. Basically, the first thing is that Greece national unemployment really increased to 23% in the month of May. Also, industrial production climbed just a little bit there. I don't know how much you could derive out of that stuff, but either way, what you want to watch for the most part is the European markets. And today, when I look at the European markets, I do see that you do have Italy and Spain both coming under a little bit of pressure. Spain's down about 1.27%. Italy's down about 0.8%, and once you see those two indexes in Europe coming under pressure, usually means there's going to be some money going into the U.S. dollar, and that seems to be the case this morning. It's not that big a deal. Looks like the markets are still holding up pretty well. I don't see anything that looks terrible out here, at least not yet this morning. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Also, last night in the news, China came out with some economic data. It looks like things are starting to slow down in China, but investors are cheering because they think that China is going to do another monetary easing. So that's really what it comes down to. Markets trade higher on hopes that everything will be inflated by the central bankers of the world. And again, no different there in China than it is here in the United States. Looks like everybody's waiting to see if the Chinese will start another monetary easing program, and we'll see how it goes. But print money, that's the answer to all the problems. We'll just see when they have to print it. But last night, if you take a look at the Shanghai index, was only up 13 points, which is about 0.6%. So nothing great there, but all the other indexes like the Nikkei and the Hang Seng made a pretty decent 1% move. And then you had India, which was down a little bit, about 0.2%. I believe Singapore markets were also down about 0.5%. So, again, little mixed bag of tricks, but nonetheless, in my opinion, China and the Shanghai are the most important index. And really, everybody's just waiting for a quantitative easing because things are slowing down in China. All right, let's take a look at a few other things out here today. Oil and gold. We'll start off with gold. Gold is trading down about $3 to $16.13 an ounce. Not a big move down on gold. If you take a look at the GLD this morning, you'll see that it's trading around 156.46. Closed basically at the same level yesterday, so really unchanged there on the GLD. But spot gold is down about $3. Crude is trading higher this morning, light sweet crude that is, to $93.62. Decent little push. Again, the dollar being strong, I wouldn't expect crude to make much more of a move. Let's take a look at the USO. USO, you'll see, is trading at 35.05, closed at 34.87. So pretty much in line with the little move up in oil. But again, if the dollar really caught a bid today, watch for oil to come down. Also watch for gold to come down. If the dollar starts to fall, like it often does these days, then you could watch for oil and gold to both start to make a move higher. But really, it's all about the dollar at the moment, and the pattern on the dollar. Anytime the dollar is up before the market opens, you always got to be somewhat concerned that they'll take the dollar down. And when I say they, it's the institutional money will take the dollar down once the market opens at around 9:30. So watch for that. We do see the dollar anytime it's up in the pre-market, it will start to fall around 9:30, and that will give the markets a little bit of a bounce, and it'll inflate things a little bit there. All right, let's take a look at some stocks out there. There's not too many today, but one I'm looking at right now, and everybody knows it, is Monster Beverage. So again, this is the old Hanson Natural. Stock had a brutal sell-off yesterday after the close. However, it has rebounded back pretty nicely. You're going to have to be careful with this one because it's a pretty thin issue. And what I mean by that is generally it doesn't trade a million shares a day. Right now it's already trading, very good volume already. So, be a little bit cautious. This one could be tossing around a little bit. Right now, if I could give you my best support levels, if it does come back down, it's going to be probably around the $53, $53.80 to $53 area. It's a tough one to pick to the penny, but right in that area is a level you could watch pretty closely. And after that, you'd watch the $50 even number, and then you'd really watch the $48 area. So those are the levels for Monster if it does come down. Right now, it's just down about $5 or so, but well off the lows from yesterday's sharp sell-off. So, I mean, this thing has come really rallying back. So you never know. Maybe the stock wants to go higher from here. But either way, watch those support levels if it gets down there. Let's take a look at RBN. I just saw this one pop up on my radar here. This is a takeover. So I believe National Oil Well is taking this over. There's nothing to do here. Just leave it alone. If you own it, congratulations. Trail your stop or take profits. If you don't own it, you don't want to buy it here. The stock's a takeover, and it looks like the deal is pretty much confirmed. So that one is out of the realm of buying or selling at this stage of the game. Let's take a look at Charter Communications. CHTR is the ticker symbol. This one's having a good little sell-off, traded down to around 73, getting a little bit of a bounce. Watch this one closely. I think there are a couple levels here that you need to watch. But one thing about this stock is that it can, if it starts to sell, this thing can trade down to around the $70 level. I'd watch $70.50, and then I'd also watch a little bit lower at $69. And then after that, I'd look at $65.44. There could be some bounces in there for Charter. Again, it's a low volume name. Doesn't get a lot of notoriety these days, but nonetheless, we'll keep it on the radar since there's not all that much out there this morning. Let's take a look at News Corp. NWSA is the ticker. This is Rupert Murdoch stock. Closed at $23.72, trading down to around $22.90. Not a big fall by any stretch. Still a lot of support at $21, maybe $20.80. I think traders could get interested there for a bounce. Also around $20 if it got down there. I don't know if it will, but hey, if it does, that's another good bounce area, right around $20. So again, you'll have to watch the chart pattern as it gets down there. But right now, that's what I'm seeing. Another stock making a move today is Elizabeth Arden, ticker symbol RDEN. Stock is trading up around $45. Do not touch this. It's coming off a strong base. It's a nice move up. It's a strong gap, but it's overcooked here. So I'm not saying it's a great fade candidate. It's a strong gap. I would not fade it. But one thing I will say is that you don't want to buy it here. Okay, it's up too much. It can pull back here, or it just may trade steady. But normally when I see a strong gap up, I try not to fade them unless it's a second tier resistance level. This one is right into the resistance point around $45. So maybe it pulls back a little bit, but again, it's coming off a strong base, and it's a pretty solid stock. It's also a light volume name, which light volume stocks have a tendency to overshoot and go a little higher than expected. So again, just don't buy it up here. Leave it alone. We'll see where it trades out in the next few days. With that said, everybody, I'd like to wish you all a great trading day. I know today's video is just a little bit short as there's not all that much out there. And we'll just see how this market plays out. Once again, the futures are down just 1.25 points. They've actually been rallying back over the past hour or so. And we'll just see how the market plays out. Keep an eye on that U.S. dollar index, especially after the opening bell rings at 9:30. It will tell you a lot. With that said, everybody, have a great afternoon, great morning, and we'll see you on the charts tomorrow. Take care now.